One. Okay, what's going on, YouTube? This is PNG News Media again, back with another episode of the Concrete and Steel Chronicles. Today, you're in for a real special treat. I have Chad from Blood on the Razor Wire. I'm sure most of y'all are familiar with him, as he has a real on-fire YouTube channel. So he's going to give us his whole spiel about, his life on the inside, and what he's been doing since he got back out into the free world. So without further ado, Chad, what's going on, brother?
What's up, brother? I appreciate you bringing me on the show, and I appreciate what you're doing.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. So quickly, tell the people who may not know, what's your channel all about?
Okay, so my YouTube channel is Blood on the Razor Wire TV. Our mission is to save kids from life imprisonment and premature death in the streets through our stories and our experiences. This is something that I did while I was in prison. I spent almost 20 years in federal prison for a 924C stat case and a crack cocaine case. I was sentenced to 40 years at the age of 24, served 18 when the First Step Act passed. I wrote the first compassionate release motion in the country to ever win. It was for a guy out of Texas named Conrado Cantu, and I used that platform, man, to help myself, and that's how I ended up getting out of prison as well.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Where are you from? Like, where did you come up at?
I'm from Rochester, New York.
New York. Okay. And then, so what was your life like? How did you grow up, on the street, household, that type of stuff?
All right, so I grew up in the hood, man. Grew up in a kind of a crazy type of life. My father was a drug addict. He was, unfortunately, man, he was famous in the neighborhood for smoking crack. Like, everybody knew who my father was. So really, I grew up in a single mother household. I had an older brother that, had killed himself. I got a younger sister. So it was definitely a struggle growing up, man. And I turned to the streets at a young age, man.
Okay. All right. So when you was on the street, so what kind of pushed you into the drug game? Like, what was your first interest into the drug game?
I was probably about 14, 13 or 14.
Damn.
Tired of being broke, man. We were poor, you know what I mean? So me and one of my homeboys, man, we started selling some fake drugs. And then from the fake drugs, it took off to buying an 8-ball. Back then it was cocaine, man. Bought an 8-ball of cocaine, turned that into a quarter ounce, turned a quarter ounce into a half ounce into an ounce, into a 62, and took off from there.
Okay. What was life like being in the dope game? Was it exciting, like you see on these videos and TV, or were you like living a life of paranoia, always looking over your shoulder? What was life like?
When you sell drugs, sometimes you get addicted to that lifestyle, right? I was addicted to the lifestyle. There were times where I felt like, I had a lot of power. I was that dude. In my neighborhood, I was that dude at one time. And I'm not being arrogant. I'm just telling you how it was. And I was a white dude, man. And pretty much everyone on my team was black. But there were plenty of times where I felt like, damn, man, that was the outward appearance. I wanted people to think, I'm happy and this is my life. But really, that wasn't really how I felt inside. Inside, I was every day, man, wondering, is today the day I go to jail? Is today, the day that someone tries to rob me? Is today the day that I got to kill somebody? Is today the day that I'm going to go to prison for the rest of my life?
Wow. Okay. So the life is now glamorous as you see in these videos.
Definitely not, man. The streets, most people don't retire from selling drugs. Two things usually happen in the streets: either you die or you go to prison.
Wow. Okay. So in the course of you selling, you doing your thing. When you got to prison, was that your first arrest, or had you get like picked up before?
No, I got picked up before. I had an assault second when I was 16. Me and my brother caught an assault second, went to trial back then, lost, and I went to state prison for 2 to 6. I did 2 years in the state, came home. About 14 months after I was done with my state bid, I ended up with a 40-year sentence in federal prison.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about that. So you get picked up by the feds, right? Now, had that been, of course, of something ongoing, they had been ongoing looking at you, or if you're able to, how that come about?
So this is the crazy part. I was investigated by the local police department, right? So when I get arrested, they arrest us. They put a conspiracy case together. They arrest us. I go to the county jail. My wife comes and bails me out. The woman I'm married to today, they bail me out. I walk out. When I get in the foyer, those same cops are there. I never make it outside. I never hit the air. They grab me, they handcuff me, they drive me over to the federal building and say, hey, we're charging you federally. You bailed out over here, but we got something for you over there. And they took me over there, and my mandatory minimum was 40 years.
Wow. So you bail out of the state, then the feds pick you up. I'm just curious, does your wife ever get that bail money back from the state?
And honestly, I don't even remember. It wasn't even that much. It was in the state. It was nonsense. And I thought when they arrested me in the state, I'm just going to pay a lawyer. I'll get 90 days in this, this Willard program that we got in New York, and I'll be out. That's what I was thinking when I got arrested. And then, 4 or 5 days later, after I have that preliminary hearing, them same cops that arrested me were state police. They took me over to the federal building. So,
wow.
I mean, they were working together. They're doing it now in my city. People are getting killed every day. They just put a state of emergency in my city. So there's a lot of young brothers right now about to probably get arrested and end up in prison for the rest of their lives, and they don't even know it yet.
Wow, that's crazy.